I call the member for Page.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I want to raise some issues that are quite concerning to locals and the ones that they've been talking about over the past few weeks. And there's the issue of workers' compensation in New South Wales, shooting in national parks, pensioners' rents increasing. They get extra money from the federal government household assistance, and then the rents are put up at state level by the state government. You know, I call them robbers' dogs, but that's just what they're up to at the moment. And also, you know, the nonsense that they're putting out as well around electricity. We all know that electricity has gone up in New South Wales up to 70% over the last 6 years because of infrastructure costs, poles and pipes. About just over 8% of that will be attributable to the carbon price. So that means over 60% because of infrastructure costs in New South Wales. And at federal level, there's also household assistance going to impact on it. So these are just some of the issues. But shooting in national parks, that's rather disturbing for a lot of people, particularly those who visit national parks, particularly families who camp in national parks with their children. And, you know, there's a place for shooting feral animals, wild animals. That's not the issue. But shooting in national parks over a wide range, it's really a big topic, a hot issue at home. A lot of people are talking about it. And I noted too that when the Premier said he'd made the deal with the upper house to get it through, for a long time he said no deals. Then I saw him on TV and his words were to the effect that, well, you know, this is the upper house, this is the parliament we had. And I said, I've heard that said before, but, you know, it's different when they do it. And people are just starting to see just what the Liberal, National, the coalition governments are like now that we've got them in many states, and the parallels are to be drawn with the opposition in this place, just what they'll do. And workers' compensation, that's... I asked the Minister responsible, Bill Shorten, in here the other day, a question on that, to a comparison about the Commonwealth scheme and the New South Wales scheme, and what's just gone through the New South Wales Parliament means that workers are just going to be thrown on the scrap heap when they suffer injuries at work through no fault of their own. And some of the things that I've read in the legislation that's gone through means that, you know, somebody who literally, if I'm reading, if they have a leg amputated below the knee, they may not, you know, get into the table, they may not get the compensation. And we're just starting to see, I note that police officers and the fireys, the fire officers, I understand that they've been exempt, and, you know, that's fine. Nobody denies them because of the work that they do, but, you know, that should be the same for everybody. It's just unbelievable. I've had so many calls or so many people contact me about workers' compensation, and I say it's a state issue, this particular one. And the other issue that is also continues to be a matter of great concern is coal seam gas in my area, and it's a state jurisdictional matter, but it's an area where we have been able to give some assistance in through a national partnership agreement with the states. But a real issue of concern, and two issues that haven't been sort of focused on a lot, are the health impacts, and the health impacts, primary health impacts on humans, and for some of the impacts of coal seam gas. And also one of the other emerging issues is, if you have a look at the United States Geological Survey, it recently indicated that CSG activities in the US appear to have contributed to an increase in the number of earth tremors. And there's a whole sort of growing body of information and scientific research in that area. And it was actually on our parliamentary library flag post last week, the issues to do with the wastewater rejection and around the health issues. And Madam Deputy Speaker, just coming back to the pensioners' rents, I can't understand why, when pensioners get money, household assistance, so that they can, you know, it can cover activity. It can cover expenditure for them, particularly to do with the carbon price in this situation.
Members' time has expired.